before we start, I need your help. I need you to help me preach this message on this morning. I need you to repeat after me, because we've been in this series called Run to Win. One of the things that we have declared, Arlene, is that we are all winners. And as winners, we don't seek to survive, but our goal is to thrive. We're not just trying to make it through life, but we're trying to thrive. We just don't want to have a get out of jail free card, but we want to have a powerful, engaging relationship with God right here on this earth. We want our benefits here. Not just the crown of jewels once we get into heaven, but we want some of those benefits here. So we're seeking to thrive, not survive. So can you guys repeat after me? Say this with me. Say, I am a winner.
I am a winner.
And winners thrive, not survive.
Yes, winners thrive, not survive.
But I cannot thrive in isolation.
Yes, I cannot thrive in isolation.
I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me.
We need each other.
We need each other.
Okay. Now for y'all at home, y'all act like y'all in church. Turn to your neighbor to the left. Let's do it again. I am a winner.
I am a winner.
And winners thrive, not survive.
Thrive, not survive.
But I cannot thrive in isolation.
I cannot thrive in isolation.
I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me.
We need each other.
We need each other.
You know, we got to do it to the other neighbor, right? Turn to the other neighbor. I am a winner.
I am a winner.
And winners thrive, not survive.
Not survive.
But I cannot thrive in isolation.
I cannot thrive in isolation.
I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me. Amen.
We need each other.
We need each other. Yes, Lord, we do.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Arlene, on March 11th, 2020, the world as we knew it changed. That was the day in which Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz tested positive for the coronavirus. And when that happened, they stopped that game instantly. And then they postponed the season for the foreseeable future. And once that began to happen, it became a cascading effect throughout America. For baseball, postponed, it started its spring training in its season. Corporate America sent people home. So if you're not an essential worker, you work from home. For some of us, they said, we're going to have to cut your salary. We're going to furlough you. And for others, you got laid off. The governmental official says we're going to have to put our cities and our states on lockdown. And shall they put us in these quarantine-style situations to where we can't go to the store the way we used to go to the store. We can't go to the mall. Can't go shopping. We can't go to school the way we used to go to school. We can't go to the movies. Can't go to concerts. Can't go to sporting events. The world as we knew it came to a screeching halt. And when that began to happen, it began to cause all different types of issues in our lives. Because in our minds, we are trying to wrap ourselves around the fact that we can't do some of the things that we want to do how we do it. I mean, woven in the fabric of this country is the fact that we are free. That we can go where we want and do what we want, how we want to do it. But now there's somebody telling us that we have to be in the house at certain times. We can't go certain places, and if we do go, we must have these masks on. There is some stuff on the inside of us that says, I just want to go and do something else and do something different. I want to go see my family. I want to go hang out with my friends. I want to go to school and chill and have fun. I want to go on a vacation, Lady Ann.
Yes, Lord.
I want to celebrate my 50th birthday, Arlene. I want to gather and see all of my family and friends on Thanksgiving and eat turkey and eat ham and eat all the stuffing and eat all the other stuff that's not good for me, but I eat it anyway and smile and have fun and cut up and laugh and play cards and dominoes and chill with my friends. I want to get together on Christmas and just hang out and do certain things. But this pandemic known as COVID-19 brought a lot of that stuff to a screeching halt. And when it did that, it puts us in this quarantine style situation, and now we find ourselves struggling mentally and emotionally. Listen to this. A survey of 1,008 people aged 19 to 35 revealed that 80% of participants reported significant depressive symptoms during the pandemic. And 65% of participants reported increased feelings of loneliness since the declaration of the pandemic. There's another study that said it was done over 3,000 people, that over 50, done among 3,000 people 50 and over, that found loneliness emerged as a key factor linked to worsening symptoms of depression and anxiety. And we are on this lockdown, and this lockdown has caused these feelings of loneliness, isolation, feelings of depression. And as we've been dealing with this, you think it's just going to stay right there. It's just going to be loneliness. But that thing begins to ooze its way out into other areas of our lives. As she talked about earlier, some of us found ourselves dealing with anxiety. There are others who feel like dealing with the increased levels of stress. We're at more risk of heart problems and stroke because we're lonely. It's triggered depression and suicidal thoughts in some of us because we are lonely. It's causing some of us to make poor decisions because we are lonely. For some of us, it's increasing the progression of Alzheimer's disease on the inside of us because we are lonely. It's leading to antisocial behavior because we are lonely. It's increased the use of substances that we have no business using because we are lonely. We're not exercising the way in which we should exercise, and so our bodies are struggling, becoming sedentary because we are lonely.
Come on, Pastor.
We're eating foods that we have no business eating because we are
lonely.
We're sleeping poorly. We're not getting good sleep at night because we are lonely. Like Lady Ann talked about earlier, we're experiencing daytime fatigue. It's 2 o'clock in the middle of the day, and we are wore out. We are stressed. We're tired because we are lonely.
That's right, that's good word.
And there are studies that talk about the fact that these feelings of loneliness will increase the chances of us dying early by 26%.
That's good.
Loneliness. So then what are we to do? Nobody wants to experience any of that stuff that we just talked about. So what are we to do? You know, it's not my fault. I was living my life and then this COVID-19 thing showed up on my doorstep, so it's really not my fault. You told me I had to quarantine, I had to stay in the house, I couldn't go where I wanted to, and that's what I did. I'm trying to be obedient. I'm trying to do the things that I was told to do. I'm trying to take care of others and be safe and protect myself as well. And now, I find myself struggling with loneliness, struggling with feelings of depression.
All right.
I feel like I'm disconnected from the world and disconnected from society because I don't understand how to deal with this stuff. What are we to do? Well, the experts, the psychologists, and the sociologists challenge us to do 2 things. Number 1, understand that loneliness is a mindset. I need to understand that loneliness is the state of mind that says that thinks I am disconnected from the world, that nobody cares about me, that nobody has time for me. It's a state of mind that seeks to separate itself and to isolate itself from everybody else. It's a state of mind that's extremely susceptible to various different things going on in the world. Susceptible. It's a state of mind that has a way of begetting itself. And by that I mean loneliness seems to beget additional loneliness. That as we're sitting in our homes, trying to deal with this loneliness, we find it hard to find our way out. And the more we try to find our way out and find our way to a common ground, to find our way to some love and some grace, to find our way out to finding being connected with others, it seems like we find ourselves going that we are more and more and more lonely. So the study said, Omar, that we have to do what we need to do to stay connected. That we have to fight through it to make sure that we do the things we do to be connected. Even in this world in which we're living in right now, to creatively find ways to stay connected to other people. It's talking about picking up the phone and just calling somebody. I'm in this house, these 4 walls are closing in on me. Let me just pick up the phone and call somebody. Talking about picking up the phone, calling somebody, meet me over there at Sugar Creek Park, right? Meet me at the park. We're going to sit out in the park. You sit 10 feet over there. I'm going to sit 10 feet over here. We're just going to talk. Set up a Zoom call with you and your family. You may not be able to travel to them, but it says set up a Zoom call. Do like Lady Ann and her sisters. Get on that Facebook chat thing and talk to each other. Right? What is it trying to get us to see? We have to find creative ways to stay connected to one another. To say, I'm not going to live in isolation. I'm not going to live here by myself, but I shall stay connected. I'm not going to allow this mindset to push me away, to drive me further into myself, to have me looking at everybody else and criticizing them and being critical of them, to have me being critical of the world and thinking it's the world against me.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
I'm going to stay connected to others. And oh no, this is something I found that helped me when I was dealing with feelings of loneliness and depression. I had to fight the urge to retreat within myself. As some of y'all might not believe it, but I am a natural introvert.
Yes, Lord.
This is my calling. But to naturally stop and talk to people for an hour at a time, that's not who I am. I am a natural introvert. But Jules, that was shown when I was in Uncle Sam. 19 years old, left Fort Jackson and went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Got to Oklahoma and had a roommate by the name of Ross. Ross was cool. I was about 5 or 6 years older than I was. Cool dude, been through a little bit of stuff in life. Got me acclimated real quick, so I hung out with them. Those were my boys. But then if you know anything about the Army, people come and people go. And it was time for them to make that transition. So they left, and they left me as the only one still there. New people came in, but the introvert in me kept my distance, stayed away. Got a roommate named Reginald Mayfield. Cool dude, cool. Reggie was cool. About the same size. People say we look like brothers. Reggie had this type of energy to him about life. He had this great smile. He could shoot hoop, play football. Reggie was just a cool dude. Well, Reggie had a friend named Sean. They both were from that DC area. And they would go hang out. Shoot ball, go party, play the go-go music, do the things and have fun. I'm sitting in the room looking at the walls. Lonely. They said, come on, Herb, come hang out with us. I'm all right, man. Sitting in the room. Knowing I'm not telling the truth. I want to have some fun, but this introvert on the inside of me is climbing back inside. But one day, Danielle, I had to make a decision. I had to decide that I'm going to fight this urge to climb into myself, to stay into this safe zone where nobody will get to know me, that way they won't get to know my faults, they don't get to know the things that I don't do good. I can still have this image, this aura about myself. I said, I'm going to stop being such an introvert.
All right.
And I'm going to go hang out with them guys. They had asked me earlier, you going to come hang out with us? No. But I said, I got to get out of here. I got up, put on my stuff, got in my car, and met them where they were going. And Arlene, we became the best of friends. We did everything together. Shot hoops together. I was the point guard. I was the point guard. Oh, you go out and use the red, he catch that thing. Boom! Football. Sean was a quarterback, I was the receiver. We partied, we had fun. All why? Because I made the choice. I'm not going to allow these urges, this tendency that I have to retreat within myself to stop me. to isolate me, to keep me disconnected, to keep me in these feelings of loneliness, I was going to get out. And I just want to encourage all of my introverted friends out there. There comes a point in which we have to make a decision that we're not going to allow the urges on the inside of us, these tendencies on the inside of us, to cause us to retreat onto ourselves. I'm talking about all of you out here who are struggling with loneliness in the midst of this COVID-19 situation, and it feels comfortable to sit at home and binge watch Netflix. It feels comfortable to be at home and just take a nap all day. It feels comfortable just sitting at home. I want to challenge you to get out, be creative, find different ways to stay connected to other people. Find ways. Put your mask on. Be like me and Omar. Go to the restaurant. Sit outside in the cold. Sit across from each other at the table. Eat your food. Or whatever we do, let's not climb back into ourselves and become a committee of one. Let's not isolate ourselves. You see, the state and the county say that we have to quarantine. But they don't say that we have to isolate. That's right. And there's a difference between quarantining and isolating. Quarantining says, for health reasons, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to be safe. I'm not going to go certain places where they have mass gatherings because it's more of a risk. But isolation says, I'm going to take this opportunity to climb back on the inside of myself and just stay there. Okay. And just hide right here. Stay in this comfort zone right here. Yes, I'm lonely, but they don't know that. I'm just going to stay right here. All right. The author of Hebrews knows something about what we're talking about. The author of Hebrews says, let's not forsake the assembly of ourselves with one another, as what has become the habit, Arlene, of some. See, I believe the author of Hebrews understands the power of isolation. He's talking to a group of people who have recently accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and their Savior. And as they've done that, these are Jews who have converted to Christianity. And as they've done that, they're now undergoing persecution. And because of that persecution, they are having second thoughts. Is this really worth following Jesus? My family doesn't talk to me anymore. I've been excommunicated from the temple. There's people seeking to kill me. Is it really worth me following this guy named Jesus? So what some of them are doing, old dog, is that they're disconnecting themselves. They're isolating themselves. They're not going to church anymore, Arlene. They're not going to prayer meeting anymore, Jules. They're not showing up for Bible study. They're not showing up for yo meetings. They're not showing up for the woe meetings. They're not showing up for mo meetings.
All right, man.
They're retreated into with themselves, and they're just hanging out with themselves. They're having a pity party with themselves about all the various different things going on in life. And the author of Hebrews understands that that is dangerous. Why? Because there is an enemy out there, Sheila, going to and fro and seeking whom he may devour. And the person that has isolated themselves the person who has retreated to within themselves, is easy prey for the enemy. You're like a sheep that has wandered off from the pack, and here comes the wolf. The ravenous wolf.
Come on now,
Hungry, and he sees you.
Yep.
You can't outrun him. You're not stronger than he is. You don't have any defense mechanisms to stop him. You're just there by yourself, trying to fight. And these feelings of loneliness will cause many of us to make some hard decisions. To make some horrible decisions, Think about it. Some of us got married not because we were in love, but because we were lonely. Some of us have found ourselves in adulterous relationships and infidelity, not because we were just sex-craved maniacs, but because we were lonely. Some of us have found ourselves abusing drugs, abusing alcohol, not because we love that stuff so much, but because we are lonely. Some of us are out there spending every dime that we have, not because we need this stuff so much, but because we are lonely. Look. It has been said that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. But I would say a lonely heart is his playground. And he's just playing all inside of our hearts. He's doing whatever he wants to do, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. He's having a party right there in our hearts. I got one that's been separated. That think they can do this thing all by themselves. They're trying to fight me by themselves. And he's just tossing temptation after temptation after temptation after us. He tosses conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory after us. He tosses left, rights, knees. He keeps doing everything he needs to do to bring us down. And we don't realize it. That as he's doing it, we get further and further and further disconnected. That's why we said this morning, that we need each other. We are winners. And as winners, we thrive, not survive. But I cannot thrive in isolation. I need you. You need me. Don't worry about it all. We need each other. We're not here to survive on our own, but we need each other. We can't forsake the assembling of ourselves together. As a church family, I need O-Dog. And O-Dog needs me. I need Arlene. And Arlene needs me. I need Jules. And Jules needs me. Andre needs Michael. And Michael needs Andre. Miss Linda needs Mama Joan. And Mama Joan needs Miss Linda. We are not to live these lives disconnected. We are not to run this race in isolation, but we are to live our lives connected to other beings. We are relational creatures. And as relational creatures, we need real, authentic, engaging relationships with others. Not isolation,
but engaging relationship with others. Because winners run together. Think about that. How many people like watching track? Y'all watch track? What's that event that comes at the end? That relay race? That 4x4 relay race? Look. You can have 4 individuals who are extremely fast, but if they don't know how to work together and exchange that baton together, it doesn't matter how fast they are as individuals. If they drop that baton, they're disconnected.
That's right.
Or how about bicycle racing? When it comes to Lance Armstrong. Now we look at bicycle racing as an individual sport. But if you really begin to think about it, it's not an individual sport. It's a team sport. He has a team of people who works with him during that race to make sure that he finishes first. There's a team of people who go before him and clear the path for him. Cause all type of interference for him. Yes, he may be the fastest runner, but he cannot do this thing by himself. Winners understand that I can't win by myself. I can't thrive by myself. I need other people. You need me. I need you. And winners understand that some of us are going to be struggling in certain areas. But that's all right. We've been put on this earth to encourage one another.
Mm-hmm.
That I see you struggling. And a part of my job is to say, I got you. I see that you're struggling. I see that you're going through some stuff. I see that you're going through some issues. Let me help you. Let me pick up the phone and call you and say, I love you. Let me send you a text message and say, I love you. I believe in you. You may not believe in yourself, but I believe in you. I don't care what they are saying about you right now. I still believe. I don't care what you are saying about yourself right now. I still believe in you. I think there's something special on the inside of you. You may not think you can get the job, but I think you can get the job. You may not think you can win, but I think you can win. I believe. Do you believe? Talking about encouraging one another. We all need somebody to come alongside of us and encourage us. Help push us along the way. Help look beyond our current circumstances and see that there's something on the other side of those circumstances. Because you know how we are, Arlene? Our circumstances become walls around us. At times they become bigger than the God we serve. And all I can see right now is more circumstances, more situations, more issues, more trials, more tribulations. But the good friend comes along and says, let me help you kick down some of these walls.
Mm-hmm.
Let me help encourage you. Let me help you look at that thing from a different perspective. It's not as bad as you thought it was. Here goes some good advice. Let me encourage you. What does it say in the book of Genesis? What did Cain say? Am I my brother's keeper? The answer is yes. We are our brother's keeper. We are responsible. Those of us who have this love of Christ on the inside of our hearts, we are responsible for lifting our fellow brother up, for encouraging them. I see you have isolated yourself. I see you sitting at home. I see you struggling with these lonely feelings. Let me come by. We're going to sit in the porch and we're just going to talk. I mean, think about it. What does it say in the book of Ecclesiastes? It says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But if you isolate yourself, who's going to pick you up? If you have retreated to within yourself, who's there to pick you up? Who's there to encourage you? Who's there to love on you? Who's there to share life with you? Yes, we have some extenuating circumstances right now. Once in a lifetime situation. But that does not mean that we have to isolate, quarantine, but not isolate. We can stay connected. We can stay connected to him. But Pastor, what am I supposed to say? You want me to encourage somebody, but I don't understand what I'm supposed to say. I'm kind of apprehensive about some of that stuff. Listen, we're not asking you to come up with this 3-point sermon with all these theological implications in preaching. All we're asking you to do is just be a Barnabas. Be an encourager. Do some stuff you already know how to do. Be a cheerleader.
All right.
Tell somebody about how good they are. Don't just think they already know it. Just tell them. Send them a text message just because they were on your mind.
Oh, come on now, Pastor.
If you know they're struggling with some stuff going on, send them just a dinner just to be sending them a dinner. Show up. If you can't get inside the house, just sit there on the porch and talk through the screen. Send them a Bible verse.
That's good.
We're just asking you to do some things you already know. You don't have to know a ton of words to say, God loves you. And I might not have all the answers for you right now, but I know God loves you and God will work it out for you. Can we pray? And you don't have to pray with all that loud yelling and screaming like me and Miss Linda do. You can pray in your regular voice.
Amen.
Just talk to the God you love. God, you see Jimmy over there struggling. And he's having a hard time, God. And I don't know everything I'm supposed to say, but can you help him out? You know better than I know what's going on. Just an encouraging word.
Good, Pastor.
Listen to what Jody McCall says. He says, heroes don't leap tall buildings or stop bullets with an outstretched hand. They don't wear boots and capes. They bled and they bruised, and their superpowers were as simple as listening or loving. Heroes were ordinary people who knew that even if their own lives were impossibly knotted, they could untangle someone else's. If you get that part. Heroes were ordinary people who knew that even if their own lives were impossibly knotted, they could untangle someone else's. And maybe that one act could lead someone to rescue you back. That the heroes are not everybody we see on TV. Not the LeBron James, Patrick Mahomes, not Oprah. Right. The hero is you. Somebody who cares. Somebody who can encourage. Somebody who can love on them. Walk this thing out with them. The hero is you. And here's the thing she's trying to get us to see, is that there is a reciprocity with that. That as I begin to reach out and connect with you and help you and love on you, somebody will see me in my need and begin to help me and love on me. What's the word say? That you will reap what you sow. So many times we use it to talk about money, oh dog. But it's not just talking about money. You reap what you sow. If you sow encouragement, you'll receive encouragement.
That's good.
Yes.
If you sow love, you're going to receive love. If you're sowing joy, you're going to receive joy. But if you're sowing this negativity, if you're sowing this mess, if you're sowing isolationism, then that's what you are going to receive. But hey, look at me, look at me. We are winners.
Wow.
Stay with me. We are winners. And like we said earlier, as winners we thrive, not survive. But I cannot thrive in isolation. I need you. You need me. We need each other. So come out from that isolation. Stop hiding within yourself. And walk like the winner that you are. Connect with people. Be creative. Do the things you need to do to stay connected to the world. Tell yourself, I'm tired of beating myself up.
Good.
I'm tired of demeaning myself. I'm tired of being critical of myself. I'm tired of being critical of others. I'm tired of thinking that nobody really cares about me. Nobody really loves me. We love you. If nobody has told you that since last March, we love you. If no one has acted like they cared about you since last March, we care about you. We love you. We are concerned about you. That's the thing. As a matter of fact, give me a hug. Give me a real hug. Give me one of them big old grandma hugs. What's that rerun show? Give me one of them Maybelline Thomas hugs. Y'all remember the rerun show? Rod's mama would hug him so hard she would squeeze all the air out of him. Give me one of them hugs. Listen. Sitting at home by yourself, isolated. The enemy will play tricks with your mind. The enemy will make you think nobody cares. But once again, I declare we care. We love you. There's some people online right there with you that love you. And they want to connect with you.
Yeah.
And they love to talk to you on the phone. They love to meet you at the park.
Yes.
They love to sit on the porch and talk with you. To get on a Zoom call with you. To hang out after intercessory prayer and just talk and laugh. To hang out after Bible study and just talk about sports and everything else going on in the world. But we need you to take this step and come out of isolation. Stay in quarantine, but come out of isolation. Do the things you need to do to stay safe, but come out of isolation. Change your mindset. I'm not going to allow this loneliness to stop me. I'm not going to allow this loneliness to take over my life, take over my mind, and have me disconnected from the world in front of me. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to stay connected. I'm going to stay connected with the world around me. I'm going to be creative in connecting with others. I'm going to stop talking myself out of hanging out. And I'm going to stop talking myself out of coming to church. Stop talking myself out of getting on the Zoom calls. Stop talking myself out of getting on the Women of Exhort calls. Stop talking myself out of getting out of the Men of Exhort calls. Stop talking myself out of joining the youth calls. I am going to get connected. And as a matter of fact, there's some of you out there who don't have to wait till we have these organized events to do something. You have enough organization to organize your own stuff.
Amen.
You can set up your own Zoom call, your own Facebook group, Women Who Love the Lord Facebook group, Guys Who Love Baseball Facebook group, Women Who Love to Read Books, Jules Facebook group, Zoom group, whatever it is, you can do it. We just need you to start taking those steps. Start taking those steps. Come out of isolation. Stay in quarantine, but come out of isolation.